Hi guys, Rik Marston, SynthgodXXX. Welcome to my channel. It's Synth Talk Thursday, and it's also part 2 of the top 10 synthesizers of all time for Rik Marston, SynthgodXXX. All my favorites, you know the drill. Okay, are you guys ready? We're right here. Part 2, here we go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, number 5 on the top 10 awesomest synths of all time, in my book, in my experience, that I've purchased and had fun and recorded with. The Axis Virus Indigo. Now that synthesizer I had put on the list of the top synths to avoid for secondhand use, synths that could have issues. I put it only in that situation because it was released in the later part of the 90s. The Axis Virus line and the Axis Virus B and the C were the ones that the Indigo was a part of. I liked it because it had the blue LEDs and it was just, you know, a silver type of bass, and it just looked absolutely sexy. It was just the ultimate synthesizer, to be honest with you. Excellent road-worthy, durable synth. Just sounded amazing, and it looked so sexy with the swelling lights in the studio. Like I said, those blue LEDs were so sexy. Anyways, the Axis Virus Indigo was phenomenal and still is a wonderful choice if you get the Virus C version, the Indigo 2. They're, I think, more reliable, more durable right now. The Virus B version, the original Indigo, is probably on its way out, and like I have reported in the past that there have been some motherboard crashes, output issues, and LCDs that need to be replaced. So that's something to think about. The TI2 is still really popular, and the Snower is really popular, and we're still hoping one day that Virus will come back, Axis Virus will come back with something hot. We're looking for the Virus 3, we're looking for something hot. I had the Axis Virus signed by Division, which is one of my favorite bands from Germany, and great electronic EBM, synth pop, industrial. So check out that video. Like I said, it was one of my first videos, and it wasn't the highest quality, but man, and you'll see the autograph on the side from them. They're some of the most talented musicians in the world. Incredible band. All right, let's go on to number 4. Number 4 of the most awesomest synths of all time in my book, in my personal experience, is the Roland Juno 106. That synthesizer is absolutely awesome. It's totally bitchin'. It's completely awesome for people who are getting into synthesis. It's a good gateway drug for the synthesizer, that player that is budding in the universe. Of course, we're talking about the issues with the voices that are going out. So if you get a second-hand Juno 106, like I said in my used synths to avoid, check out those if you haven't seen those. The Juno 106 will have voice issues if you play a key and it starts to crackle or has no, oh wait, oh, that one's missing. You can tell which voices are out by holding down 6 notes, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you have a crackle on any of those, or if a voice doesn't sound or a key doesn't sound, that means that voice in the 6 number progression of voices is out and needs to be repaired. Just have them all repaired, or try to find one that's already had their voices refurbished, because it'll at least, hopefully, if everything was done correctly, give you 30 years of fun. I highly recommend the Juno 106. It's one of those synths that just gets you in and out. Check out some of my videos on my channel here of the Juno 106 that I've had purchased secondhand and modified by Synthspa by Alan Kopic of Paramount Synth. Absolutely love the Juno 106. One of my first experiences with the Juno 106 was with Dwayne Briggs. He used to sing and play keyboards for my church when I was a young man. He is a professional recording artist, new age, ambient, spiritual recording artist who's got an incredible angelic voice. He can play keyboards like man. Has a wonderful studio rig. He actually hooked me up with his original Juno 106 that I had modified and turned into a Jupiter 106 that had all the different colored buttons and stuff. Check out my videos that have the polyphonic light display on it, which is really cool. Every note you hit, the light would swell and react to the LFO and the envelope. It's really cool. Anyways, long story short, the Juno 106 is one of the most incredible synths, and I've really enjoyed it. I still think to this day it's deep in my heart and soul. It's one of the top synths of all time. I love the Juno 60. Its sound was richer and fuller. Without MIDI was an issue, because I love to be able to have it slave from another or a very strong sequencer, like say a Korg workstation or a Roland workstation or a Groovebox. Having a good synth sequencer driving a Juno 106 is where the power comes out and you can really experience the full. Number 3 of the top synths of all time in my book, the ARP Odyssey. Oh my goodness. Yes, I know a lot of people are going, yes, Rik, yeah. But what about the Mini Moog? Well, yeah, the Mini Moog. Yeah, the Mini Moog. I've never owned a Mini Moog. I've had the Mini Moog Voyager, which is kind of the same but different. It's a totally different beast. But the ARP Odyssey was one of those synths that, I guess when they released it, it was supposed to be like a cheaper option for the person who was looking for a Mini Moog at the time. So it has a lot of the same kind of sound, beef, and features of a Mini Moog, and absolutely love what you can create. It sounds like it came from a college laboratory where they were testing and building their own equipment or their own modular stuff. When you listen to an ARP Odyssey, it says 70s. It really has that sound of the 70s, this late 70s or early 70s kind of tweaky boop, boop, beep, boop, when you do the sample and holds and you start tweaking with the different VCOs and just trying to get them off just a little bit. They detune in ways that, so the ARP Odyssey is, oh my God, I could sit there, if you check out some of my videos on this channel of the ARP Odyssey that I've done, and you will hear how fat and how sweet and how insane the sounds are and can be, you know, created on an ARP Odyssey. It is just one of the most flexible synths, and it's a duophonic synth, so you can split the oscillators and play two different things if you want to, or you can stack them together, sync them together, and it just, oh my God, you can shatter walls with the power of like a Moog. You know how low end those things go. The ARP Odyssey just can. What was that? Where's the ARP Odyssey? What? And Korg has done a wonderful job doing the reissue, the Carp, they call it the Carp Odyssey. It is basically, oh my God, just a little bit smaller from the original. I highly recommend it if you haven't got one of those. Now, I haven't had the Behringer Odyssey yet, but with all the extras that are on that and the lit up sliders, blue, blue, I absolutely am excited for it. I'm looking forward to it. So expect somewhere down the line me having one of those in the background, in the distance. I'm sorry. Expect one of those to be in the future. I cannot wait to try out the Behringer Odyssey. So, oh God, Rik, what is it? Number 2. Tell us what number 2 is, Lord. Help us with number 2. Number 2 of the top awesomest synths of all time in my book is a new addition. It is a synthesizer that just came out not too long ago, and it's kind of shocking because you'd expect out of the top 10 list to be something vintage, something old. Well, everything else is kind of vintage, and everything is kind of old. But I had to add a new synth because this one really was super duper impressive. Alright, so number 2 is a new addition. It's something that most people were shocked. Wow, number 2 on your list of the top 10 awesomest synths of all time, and you want to put this up there? Yeah, I'm going to put it up there. The Moog Grandmother. That synth is really, really fun and really, really awesome, and it sounds just like magic, and it's fat, and it's strong, and it's flexible. It has a little sequencer that's kind of flexible, and it's just really fun and easy to use, and it kind of gets you into the modular world with its CV connectivity within itself. Doing the CV is fun, crossing around things, maybe creating stuff that you shouldn't, and that's the good thing about modulars. You're able to explore synthesis in a way that's not normally done, and you can create paths and signals that are unique to yourself, to your own stuff. But I have to say that the Moog Grandmother was a wonderful addition to the studio. Its sound and it's just powerful. It's awesome. It's wonderful. So number 2 goes to the Moog Grandmother. Call me, you guys. Hey, at least, you know, talk to me. I love you, Moog. Anyways. Okay, so number 1 is the most incredible synth in my experience. That's just my opinion. It doesn't have to be the world's opinion and stuff because everybody has different types of needs and wants and stuff. So don't be mad if your synth wasn't picked as number 1 because this is my experience. And I've owned hundreds of keyboards. And I'm not joking about that. I've got rollover, scroll over lists of synths that I've owned in the past. Okay, so this is just my opinion on what number was for me. I'm not saying it's the best in the universe because some people would say, oh, this is and this is and this is. Well, that's their experience. But from my personal opinion, my personal experience, and all the synthesizers that I've laid my little fingers on, the Roland Jupiter 8 was the best to me. It was like the dream come true synth for me because I've always wanted to put my hands on one. And I was able to purchase one and have it in the studio for a short time. Now, why do I keep it for a short time? Because, man, you know, that's an investment. It's like buying like a Ferrari or some real high-end car. You know, do you want to keep it? Are you ready for the upkeep? Are you ready for these crazy service things that could come up? So I kept it for sampling, and I got a wonderful sample collection out of it and a video of it. And I absolutely, if I could own one, if I could afford one and own one and to upkeep it forever and ever, I would have a Roland Jupiter 8, the real thing, with MIDI, the Encore MIDI, or the Encore MIDI kit. I think I would be the happiest person in the world to have a real live Jupiter. But to be honest, the upkeep on it is going to be really, really intense. So those are the reasons why a lot of people that will have them for a long time, and if they start noticing things strange or quirky with it, they start moving them quick, because who knows what the next step is or what in its evolution as a keyboard in your studio is going to be like. So having one is, you know, a financial risk. At the same time, it's a wonder. You got to think about security. Anything that's in the $10,000 to $15,000 is not something you're just going to leave in your apartment over the weekend. You know, it's one of those things that I was just a little paranoid about to have. The Roland Jupiter 8 is just one of the most incredible synths to me. Its sound, its power, everything about it was just so dreaming. It was a dream come true to own a synth that was so powerful and so strong and just swelled and swayed with warmth and bite, and it just was the most lush analog feel. I was just so in love with that Jupiter 8, and if I could have kept it, it would be here today in the studio, because to me, I made a great sample collection out of it. I absolutely loved it. But thinking about its upkeeping and doing repairs and stuff like that, trying to get parts now is getting harder to find. So, you know, it's an investment, you know. Would you want to buy a Moog 1 nowadays, you know, and have a polyphonic Moog 1, or would you want to invest in a Jupiter 8? That's a big question. I would love to have a Jupiter 8. If I had the money to throw around, I'd love to have a Jupiter 8. And if I could be as rich as some certain rock stars, I'd have a couple of them, you know, for parts and stuff but, you know, I just thought that in my heart and soul, I think that the Roland Jupiter 8 wins as the best synth in my experience, number one. I did a song that was called Return of the Gods. I have a video, if you look it up, Rik Marston, Return of the Gods. It's all Jupiter 8 with a mini Moog on top of it. And oh yeah, and a Selena string, like a string ensemble. So it's very, very beautiful, vintage sounding synths all married together. The Selena, the Jupiter 8, and the mini Moog. Return of the Gods. It's come from my first album called Digital Heart Analog Soul, which I released in 2015. So anyways, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and leave your comments below on what your top 10 synths are of all time. I really appreciate you guys allowing me to do this and supporting this channel. It's very, very, very cool to read your comments and what you guys think about things and the future of technology and whether we need certain things or not, or why we should or shouldn't. You know, I really appreciate everything you guys say. I love you with all my heart and soul. Seriously, you guys rock. May your energies be strong and renewed. Support the SynthgodXXX channel by buying the Reverb 16 sample collections that I've made of various synthesizers. And it just helps me get more keyboards for us to do more stuff. Oh, look, I got the Uno. We're going to do a video of that. Oh, boy. Anyways, and we just have a lot of fun. So, bless you. May your energies be strong and renewed, and I will see you next week. Bye.
Hello now, I'm telling you, baby, get your hands out of my pocket. What are you, nuts? Bitch, you ain't got no daily double. You ain't got no money anyway.